Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, we got race number 3 here for the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA series. And I understand the Daytona duels are going on tonight, but I mean, when you think about it, Daytona or Vegas, I'm taking Vegas every time. Vegas is, in my opinion, a lot better track, a lot more racer, I don't know about racer friendly, but a lot better race than just watching some pack racing. I mean, Fox compared to CRN, let's be honest, we're going to put on a better broadcast. That's why you're here. You're here to hear, myself and Jimmy up here in the booth putting on another fun-filled broadcast here for Virtual Velocity Racing. So thank you for tuning in with us. It should be a good one out here tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of Vegas. It's a high-speed, high-banked, 1.5 mile tri-oval out here in the desert, and this thing, I mean, you can hold it wide open, and you can get around for a good maybe 5-10 laps holding that thing wide open, but the tires are going to really get beaten down, and you're really going to start pushing if you can make it through it being a little bit loose for those first couple laps. So it's going to take some tire management here. It's going to take some craftiness to get through an entire stint here tonight, but going to be a good one for sure. Carl Hamwork joined in the booth by Jimmy Cover. Jimmy, we're out here in Vegas. I mean, it's a place to be. There's so much to do out here, but the racing is great.
Yeah, I love Vegas. Vegas is one of those tracks, like you said, it's kind of that super speedway-ish kind of vibe, but you can't just hold the pedal to the metal or you will burn them tires down and pretty quickly, like within 10 to 15 laps. So you could see some drivers, maybe they just haven't had the amount of practice that it takes to save a little bit of tire here, but you're going to see these tires burn up here pretty quick. 110 laps here at Vegas. I should fly by here pretty quickly the way these drivers get at it. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be exciting, and looking forward to seeing these drivers compete here tonight.
Track temperature not too terrible out here tonight. It looks like it's about 81 degrees roughly right now. It should get a little bit cooler as the sun sets. But Jimmy, we're all set up on the track here. We're done with qualifying. Why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's qualifying results?
I would love to, but my overlays are...
Okay. All right, well, I will go ahead and do that then for you. It is going to be Ross Dalton on the pole, with Robert Warnes starting on the outside, Ty Marasco, Brandon Mefford, and Robert Kahn for the top 5. Cody Griffin, Mike Hasty, Maxwell Caldwell, Derek Paulson, and Dennis Warnes for your top 10. Then Dalton Kilrow, Brandon Meir, Todd Merkel, DJ Mitzel, Rick Thompson, Michael Taylor, John Garrett, Eric Blunt, Len McNeese, and Chris Schuschler rounding out the top 20. And then rounding out the rest of the field. Actually, we got a little bit more than I expected here. So we got 21st is going to be Gordon Larson Jr., Graham McConnelly, Tyler Hilton, Hemi Gherardini, Mike Rideout, Hilton Young, Corey Coe, Andrew Palesci, Cade Green, and Tim Lee for your top 30. And then rounding out the rest of the field is going to be Brian Rainville, Doug Wasaki, Michael Pratt, Ray Radford, and Robert Smith for the 35-car field. And quite a lot here not getting a lap time in. If I'm counting correct, it looks like about 8 cars not getting a lap time in here for tonight. But we are not going to waste any time to get this thing underway. The pace car lights are already out. We're set for 110 laps of green flag, hopefully racing here in the desert. We got some great looking paint schemes out there, and they're going to shine here under the lights. Pace car is off. It's in the hands of Barney to get this thing underway. And we are racing at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Bit of an issue, looked like towards the back of the field, bunched them up a little bit. We got a car starting from pit lane as well, but they'll head into turn number 1. And that looks like make it to the backstretch unscathed, at least for the ones that started up there towards the front. A little bit of a bunch up in the back, but we are certainly racing here. And you see just how much the banking provides for a lot of great racing. It's not necessarily as wide as you'd see at like last week at the Auto Club Speedway, where you can have 4 or 5 wide racing where it's not a problem at all. Here you're going to see at least 2, if not even a third line development. I mean, you see kind of the 3 seams there, the 2 seams in the track that give you kind of 3 distinct lines, and each one of those can be used. You can run that high line, you can rip the lip if you want to call it that. You can run down there in the bottom. I think this middle line could be a decent line as well. It's kind of a mix between fast and also maybe saving a little bit of tires. But it is Ty Marasco already up 2 positions, taking the lead from Ross Dalton here, the number 1 out front. And I'm going to make sure my my overlays are done here, because I know Ty Marasco typically has a colorful and a good-looking paint scheme out there. I just see a black Chevy right now, so I'm going to make sure my trading paints is working correctly out here. But he is your leader: Ross Dalton, Cody Griffin, Brandon Mefford, and Robert Warrens for the top 5.
Let's see, Ty Marasco is in the DQ machine. Very clean. So sometimes, I don't know if iRacing's had a current real update in the background. I've had some changes myself, having some issues with some of the settings that was going on here with iRacing, so something I'll have to revisit here as things go on. But yeah, out front right now is Ty Marasco, followed by Ross Dalton and Cody Griffin. So doing a fantastic job so far, and a good battle. But the 3 down there on that inside of the apron, looking to get by. So Cody Griffin looking to take P3 away. He has the advantage right now going into turn 1, now exiting turn 2, heading down the backstretch.
Still side by side for second place, and maybe going a little 2-for-1 action here, as now Cody Griffin to the inside of the 1 of Marasco, and now looking to take over the top spot here tonight. But side by side at the line, give it that time, maybe just barely to Ty Marasco, but they're still side by side heading into 1. And that's what Vegas is going to do for you. It's going to provide a lot of opportunities for passing, side by side action for sure. And it's a place that I enjoy every time we come here, whether it's in the booth, whether it's on the track. But a little bit of a bump right there. The 3 just going to maybe scrape the wall a little bit, but keep it off of there. Some tight racing right there. Marasco going to get to the lead here, as hopefully we got the paint schemes now trying to fix themselves, and take a look at our leader Ty Marasco, see if it actually works this time. But we are gonna have a caution. Looks like a little bit back further in at the field, and yeah, for some reason still not loading correctly on my side, still showing just a plain black number 1 there. But take a look back here and see what exactly happened here to bring out the caution. Looks like possibly the 534 of Doug Wasaki involved in this one.
No, it looks like it happened in front of him.
Okay.
Just a little bit, yeah, just a little bit up the front of him. I think it was Gary.
Oh, yep, right there in front of him.
Yeah, Garadini in the so the 98 of Mike Taylor. I think Garadini's the gold. Well, I don't know what color is on your car, but I think he's had the gold one.
Let's take a look at that here again, because I did see Tyler Hilton get turned.
No, it's the O2
into the wall. And there it is. Contact, just 3 wide racing, and Hilton comes up into the 98. And you see him right there. Wasaki gets thrown into the wall as well. And that's going to bring us under our first caution here tonight. Definitely some issues just all around the board here. I know Jimmy was having some issues on his side, getting everything cleared up and running. Excuse me. Clearly, I'm having some issues here with the paint scheme is showing up here correctly. So I apologize to all those out there with some fresh, nice paints out there. And I wish I could show you the correct ones out here, but right now, trading paints just doesn't seem to be working. So I'm gonna try and maybe close this out and refresh everything and kick it back into gear here in regards to the paint schemes. But sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes SDK doesn't like us. Sometimes OBS doesn't like us. Sometimes Trading Paints doesn't. At least iRacing has been somewhat kind to us, and at least lets us get into these sessions and show you guys the great racing out here. But in the meantime, I want to thank our sponsors here for the series: Gold Line Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs for the sponsorship here of the series. But we're under caution here. A lot of drivers coming into the pits. That time is going to leave Gordon Larson at the front. Fearless leader Tim Lee up there in second, and I know he's not out there in just a plain red car as well in the 24 there. So we'll try and clear this up hopefully as soon as possible and get this thing underway. ready to go back to the green here. Still working on trying to get those paint schemes to show up correctly, but it is back underway. The 00 of Gordon Larson on the loud pedal, and we're racing again here at Las Vegas. The 9 of Corey Coe dropping down the inside, a little bit of a slow start there, and we just wanted to drop back through the pack here as he's going to be 3 wide now going into turn 1. But everything is going to work itself out here, at least for the driving. Still not working out for the paint schemes here, but at the front it is Gordon Larson here, and the 00 out to the lead. He's got Ty Marasco battling with Tim Lee and Ross Dalton all back there, second, third, and fourth. Robert Warrens rounding out your top 5. Brendan Mefford, Cody Griffin, DJ Mitzel, Dalton Kilbrough, and Derek Paulson currently for your top 10.
Everybody doing a pretty decent job here so far. No, maybe not me and Carl battling little gremlins here. What's going on with attacking, trading paints and whatnot.
What's crazy is like in the little drop down at the bottom where it has his picture, it's the correct paint scheme, but on the car on the track it's not. So I don't know.
Well, at least you'll be able to know what it's supposed to be. But right now it is Gordon Larson finds himself out front now. And that 00, so good to see him out there getting some laps led here, up 20 spots from the start. So unless I'm incorrect, but that's what it looks like here that I have. Am I wrong? That Gordon Larson is in the lead?
It is indeed. Gordon Larson up 20 spots here in the lead temporarily, as Ross Dalton, your pole sitter, looking to try and get back to the top spot here. And what I'm seeing as the Pabst Blue Ribbon, number 50 out there. And he looks to the inside and should have the run through turns 1 and 2 here to take the lead. Running that bottom line, but you see that top, slash middle line is not necessarily a bad line to be in, and you can get some really good runs off the corner. You see Larson pushes right back into the back bumper of the 50, but Dalton is out in the lead. I don't think too many guys took any kind of tires. Again, these drivers on a tire limit for tonight, but want to come in and take a splash of fuel. And like I said, pretty much the entire field, except for Gordon Larson, Tim Lee, and it looks like Corey Coe, who's now back there in 32nd, came into the pits. Graham Connolly looks like he may not be taken to the track here tonight, so that is why he's down there in 35th. But we've got the other 34 cars here on the lead lap and still running, as we're only 15 laps into this 110 lap race, but already pretty quite racing. Already definitely Vegas-esque out here as the lights are on. The sun is setting out here in the desert, and paint schemes are not. These cars are lighting up beautiful here.
Yeah, you might have the wrong ones, but some of them are real good. Actually, the 50 of Dalton, Ross Dalton, and it's probably a shame that he probably got his old paint scheme. But he's running a Ross Dalton Racing, like it's a bright yellow number 50 machine right out there, leading the way right now. Gordon Larson ripping the Green Lantern, and then the Ty Marasco and the Dairy Queen. So just kind of show you what's going on with some of the trading paints situation. Obviously, Tim Lee repping the league's virtual velocity racing ARCA series stamped ARCA car out there tonight. Looks really, really good. So wish the trading paints would play nice with the Carl's equipment here tonight, but unfortunately we're just going to have to deal with watching these great drivers get around here and doing a fantastic job here so far. Just that one simple caution, only a couple cars involved, but yes, a few new faces up front tonight, Carl.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't have the Ross Dalton Racing yellow car out here, but it is a nice paint scheme. It's a nice Pabst Blue Ribbon number 50 out there. Makes me a little thirsty. Reminds me of the slow pitch softball days. A little PBR action on the side, on the bench.
My computer's on. It's like my pit crew just decided to, I don't know, put bad oil and bald tires or worn tires on my computer, because my stuff is not running the way it usually does. So not very smooth here tonight. But either way, we're out here watching these drivers continue to battle here at Las Vegas. 19 laps in the books, working on that number 20. Ross Dalton out front over Time Rasco, Cody Griffin, Tim Lee, Brandon Mefford, DJ Mitchell, Gordon Larson, Dalton Kilrow, John Garrett, Derek Paulson for your top 10.
Battle now for the lead as Time Rasco to the inside of the 50, and again getting very close as the same thing happened to Cody Griffin last time he was close to him. Very close to contact right there, but the 3 back up in the mix, looking to make the move around the 1 once again. We'll see how close they get into turn number 1. A little bit of rubbing once again heading into 1, so maybe a little love not lost between the 1 and the 3 right now as they head down the backstretch, but this is going to give a little bit of a buffer for the time being to Ross Dalton. But a tough track, especially early on in the runs, to stretch out and actually get a lead on anybody, because the draft is definitely very alive and well out here in Vegas. But once these tires start to wear in, how bad you were running that car and how hard you're running that car is really going to start to show. Brandon Mefford now getting up here in the mix, but if I'm Mefford, I might be holding back just a little bit here and letting these guys figure out what they want to do in front of me, and don't want to get tangled up here if there's any kind of more contact.
Yeah, way too early to try to make an attack on some drivers running too wide, and obviously those 2 drivers burn up their tires. You just might as well sit back, watch the battle continue, and yeah, words, Jim. Let them continue. Just kind of sit back there, save your tires, get ready for your assault charge on them. So but right now they're doing a good job. Looks like the 3's got a little bit of an advantage. The 83 is going to take advantage as well, as he's carrying some momentum. Headed around the track, entering into turn number 3 here, working our way around to the front stretch.
Yeah, Griffin finally clearing the 1 and now sets his sights on Ross Dalton at the front of the pack. I do apologize when you see that the cars go gray like that. That is on my side, just trying to clear this thing up as much as possible to try and get these paints to show up. But it seems like it's working. I've tried to reset it, restart it a few times now, and we're stuck with what we got, I think, at this point, unless halfway through the race it decides to do it by itself. But Brandon Mefford now getting past the 1 as well, moves into 3rd place, and already looking to the outside here of the 3. So Mefford showing a little bit of life here as we get through about the middle of this run. Take a look back a little bit further in the pack, and definitely a lot of action going on back here as well. Doug Wasaki on the inside here of Hemi Ghiardini. We've seen Hemi just not exactly have a good race last week, to put it lightly, out there at Auto Club Speedway, but coming back here and battling just outside at the top 15 right now. A little bit further back in the pack as you got Rick Thompson in at the 87, Dennis Warren's right in front of him in the number 90. But I mean, some of the biggest movers here, you can see Wasaki up there in 15th. He's up 16 spots. One of the drivers that did not qualify here for tonight's race. Of course, that man that we always kind of watch work his way up through the field. I'm not even finding him right now. Where the heck is he?
Up there in the 7th.
Nope, there he is. Nope. Michael Brett back here in 23rd. Still plenty early to watch that 77 do any kind of work. But so far, so good. Nice little run here since they got the green flag once again here after that quick little kerfuffle early on in this race.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Lee obviously.
And I might have spoken too soon. And there it is. My fault to Mike Hasty, as it looks like he is going to be the cause, or at least the reason that this caution came out. Is this came down there into to Chris Schuessler. And what I'm seeing is a Little Caesars car, which, I mean, I'm happy with that paint scheme as well, whether that's right or not. But we'll take a look back and see how this happened here with Hasty. And of course, just talked about Hemi Ghiardini gets involved in that one a little bit. 87, certainly getting a piece of that one as well. That's Rick Thompson. And then Hasty gets sent up into the outside wall. And this track, it's not Daytona, it's not Talladega, but you need to keep these fenders straight because this is a very fast track and one that you definitely need to have every bit of control. Everybody's down force, side force going into these corners. It is very fast out there. You have any kind of wrinkles, you're going to feel it.
Yeah, and then Hasty there just coming out of the corner, sliding up just a little bit, getting up into the 17, and then 87 with nowhere to go, and 87 being Rick Thompson. So they ended up getting together, and it looks like AC ended up getting the only one up in the wall from my little review that I did. But yeah, it's a tough break for the 72 as he's had some pretty he's had his run of decent runs, but more fair shares of getting involved in some incidents that he doesn't want to be part of. But this one here is more on him as his car was drifting up into Gardini.
So that'll bring us under our second caution here of the night, and this time we will see everyone come in to the pits. It looks like Robert Smith staying out there, and Eric Blunt looks like he's kind of blinking in and out on me here, but Robert Smith staying out there possibly to get a wave around here and maybe get back on the lead lap. But other than that, everyone coming into the pits, Ross Dalton is going to lead them out, and he'll be the first one out of the pits. He'll regain the lead. Brandon Mefford, Cody Griffin, Ty Marasco, DJ Mitzel for your top 5, then Dalton Kilroe, John Garrett, Derek Paulson, Gordon Larson, and Robert Kahn for your top 10.
So a few drivers taking to the pits here, Carl. I'm see with the strategy and you know, and everything going on tonight. I'm not quite sure on the how long they can go before they actually need to make green flag pit stops. So I'm wondering when everybody is going to actually. Because I don't think everybody came in, right? No, yeah, everybody did come in. That's how much I was. I didn't have the right. Board up, but yeah, everybody coming in for topping off fuel and whatnot, so everybody here should be on the same page for the most part. I'm just depending on if anybody took tires, because we do know how important tires are here today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's again that this car is a little bit sketchy, a little bit rear happy on the first couple laps, which can make it very good if you're trying to run up through the field and you're okay with the car being a little bit loose. You can really kind of let it hang out there and make some good time on the field. But when you do that, then you're going to be burning off that right front as well. And I mean, for me at least, a good 10 laps in the run, you really start to feel that right front start to overheat a little bit, and it's going to go the exact opposite way, and it's going to want to push on you. And especially out of turn number 4, we haven't really seen too much action yet in regards to the walls kind of coming into play. I don't think we had a long enough run for the tires to really get that bad. But turn number 4, I guess if there's any place, Jimmy, that you have to worry about here at Las Vegas, it's where the banking kind of starts to flatten out for that tri-oval on the front stretch coming out of turn number 4. You can sometimes get yourself sliding up there and get into the wall a little bit quicker than you realize. But we're going to get back to green here. Bob on board with Maxwell Caldwell here on the restart.
Green flag,
Get an idea how it looks here at Las Vegas under the lights. Start from the field, and it is Ross Dalton you see out there in the lead. The 3 of Cody Griffin right there behind him, but you see again multiple lines, not just because they're too wide on the restart, but I mean you can use all different kinds of lines here on the restarts, especially with some nice cooled off tires. Doesn't look like too many, if any, took tires on this pit stop. Again, still kind of early. It's only lap 31 here. Now clicking over to lap 32 out of 110, so you know, not even a third of the way through this race. You kind of want to save those tires if you can as late as you can. But you know, if anybody decided to take tires in the back of the field, you'll certainly see them start working their way up through. But right now, it is Brandon Mefford doing a battle. He is up on the inside of inside of Ross Dalton, battling for the lead, and possibly going to be a little 3-wide action coming here pretty soon, as it looks like Cody Griffin looking for a way around. But right now, Ross Dalton doing a good job just holding right on that middle line, enough to kind of pinch down that 83 of Mefford. And you see Mefford kind of just, you know, biding his time in that last run, and then coming alive a little bit later. So maybe doing the same thing there. It looked like he had a chance to take the lead, but since he didn't get it right away, now kind of falling back here a little bit. The 3 of Cody Griffin going to take over second place. Side by side behind him, Dalton Kilbro now the highest we've seen him tonight. started in 11th and now up there battling for 4th.
Yeah, trying to make his way here forward, up a few spots so far, 6 spots. And you can't count out DJ Mitchell there in the 4th car. And then it's been, well, we've seen the 5-car work his way up towards the front of Derek Paulson, so we know he can run there. And surprise, surprise, John Garrett sitting there in P number 8 as well. So a lot of the big guns are finally working their way up towards the front here. Some of the drivers that we've seen up front for a few of these races so far, working their way up here early as we're on lap 35 of 110.
Take a look back here a little further in the field. You got Brandon Meir. Was doing battle there with Len McNeese and that Wasaki. That was the inside again of Wasaki, who is still trying to work his way up through the field. Giardini up 10 spots, and then Wasaki up 16 spots up to 15th currently. Brandon Meir back 4. But for the most part, it's been some pretty good racing out here. A couple just little mix-ups here. Nothing too major, too cautioned so far, but not really too much damage on either of the cars. See, Mike Casey was involved in the last one here, and still running with that damage. You see him, just off the pace here a little bit because of that damage. That front end just buckled in here a little bit. We'll try and get a look at the front of that car, and you see right there the right front. Certainly banged in here a little bit on the 72, but other than that, most of the cars here are still nice and clean and running fast out here. And again, looking good under the lights. Again, I wish I had the correct paint schemes on here. I'm still looking for different things that I can do to try and get this thing cleared up, because it's one thing that I love seeing every week is the beautiful paint schemes on these cars, how much time these drivers put in their cars, or even the money that they put out there to show off these great paint schemes. And it's plain and simple, it pisses me off when it's not actually being shown out there. But either way, Ross Dalton, Cody Griffin, Brendan Mefford, Ty Marasco, Dalton Kilrow for your top 5. You got Mitchell, Paulson, Kahn, Caldwell, and Garrett for your top 10.
The driver's just looking good right now. Obviously, rolling the dice here a little bit at Vegas, maybe biding their time, waiting for the time to move. Closing in on that halfway mark. So, the drivers are probably in that point of the race. I need to get to a point where I can, think about how many more times I need to come to pits before I can make a final run and making sure they're in the right position to do that. So. Some fast drivers out here. We've seen some of them move to the front. We've seen them coming through the field. They watch this every single week, and we watch to see who the big movers are. And obviously, right now, Doug Wajkowski is one of the big movers here, back in key number 14. So we're a little ways back, but up those 18 spots. And we've talked about him before. That number 60 of Brian Rainbow in the Bass Pro Shops, number 60, definitely working his way up through the field as well, up 15 spots. So maybe taking some under caution.
Yeah, we got another caution here, and I believe it involved right here the 33 of Brandon Meir. Take a look back and see what happened. And once again, very close to having Giardini there, but it looks like he saved it with the 87. Involved again, this time the 87 Rick Thompson gets in the back of the 33 and sends him around. And it's going to bring us under another caution, but again, just one car involved. And I mean, it's so easy for some of these other cars to get involved in these wrecks. So great driving really by a lot of these drivers. We'll take a look here. And I ride on board and show you, how quick this kind of happens, and quick move here by Mike Rideout. Just as an example to get around the spinning 33 Brandon Meir. But going to bring us under another caution here at Las Vegas. You're going to see a lot of drivers come back into pit lane. Dalton Kilrow going to stay out there in the 41. Maxwell Caldwell going to join him out there in the 94. Looks like the 00. Gordon Larson going to stay out as well. Andrew Pileshi also staying out. So these 4 cars staying out, moving their way up through this field. But I gotta think, Jimmy, I mean, we're kind of at that point right now that it's probably, at least for me, I know we had some caution laps, but I wouldn't mind taking some fresh tires at this point.
I like fresh tires, especially here. We're at the halfway point. I don't know how many sets of tires they have off the top of my head. I don't know. I think it's 3, if I'm not mistaken. But I know they get a couple sets out here to switch them around. Obviously, it's on the drivers to manage their tires. And I'm pretty sure they know that cautions could happen. They've had 2 here tonight, this being the 3rd one. But so you know that they can happen. It's just when, and then you don't want to be left out when it comes down to the end and have that final run for maybe a possible win. So it's definitely a challenge for the drivers to be like, yeah, I'm gonna just take my tires on lap, whatever, split it out evenly, you know. So it would have been, if they have 4 sets of tires, you know, they're taking them every 25 laps or so. So, but here you never know. Somebody might want them tires because, like you said, or we said, they do fall off about 10 or 12 laps, and they will. It's a big difference the way the car handles. You know, the time starts dropping off pretty fast. You know, so it's definitely pertinent for these drivers to get out there and kind of balance that. You know, pushing the tires and saving fuel right now. I'm sure fuel saving is a thing right now too, because I think they're gonna have to stop at least one more time before the end.
Well, pace car lights are out. We're going to get back to green flag racing this time, and hopefully we get a nice little run in here because the pit stops here on the green can get a little spicy. It's quite a bit coming off of that banking down into the pit road. Not the toughest one, but I'd kind of vote it, you know, right about in the middle, just because of how much banking you're coming off of into pit lane when you come in there for those green flag pit stops, because you want to try and get off that banking as late as possible to try and keep up that speed. But it can get a little hairy, and can get hairy very quick. But we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Dalton Kilroe is going to be your control car. First one out of the pits this time is going to be Cody Griffin back there in 5th position, but kind of a mix now. There's about maybe half of the guys that came in the pits took tires, the other half just taking some more fuel. A few guys staying out altogether, and one of them is Dalton Kilroe, who's on the loud pedal, and we're back racing here at Vegas.
So racing here at Vegas as we get going, and I think I found a culprit, possibly. It was slowing things up just a little bit. I'm not getting the glitches I was having. So either way, things are looking better here at home, but definitely these drivers looking to get things done here. We talked about Dalton Kilroe making his way up to the front, so finally out to the lead, trying to make his presence known this season so far, as he's had his trials and tribulations, championship complications, of trying to repeat from last season. Maxwell Caldwell in that 94 Merkle machine back there as well, you know, trying to find his way back up there. Gordon Larson continues in that 00 to you know, kind of be up front, you know, up to an 18th spot. So just not a great qualifying run, but definitely showing some race speed.
Yeah, I mean, for Kilroe, obviously not necessarily the best start they wanted to the season. I mean, Daytona, you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. I mean, it kind of is what it is most of the time. I mean, you can be the best driver out there and have a bad race at Daytona, and you can kind of be the opposite. You can be a mediocre driver and find your way to a good finish. But at least last week, got close to a top 5, finished in 6th place out there at Auto Club, and actually, correct that, he finished. Wasn't here, so I'll take a look. He's up to tied for 6th in the standings after last week. And so yeah, last week finishing in 7th place got him up to the top 6 in points. But certainly it's not a surprise to see that 41 out here. Now that we get to kind of these mid tracks, these 1.5 mile tracks, it was certainly his bread and butter last year, but he's got some company, and that is Brandon Mefford. We've seen him up there most of the night so far, but now he's got some freshies on, and man, he's making it pay. He drives right around the 41 like he's sitting still. Those fresh tires on that 83 certainly are going to pay dividends, but this is kind of, you know, where you get to that point where when do you kind of take that chance on that first set of tires? Because now, if this thing goes green for quite some time, and if this thing goes green all the way until the next round of pit stops, all these drivers that are all making their way easily through this field right now are going to be absolutely in the catbird seat right now. Brandon Mefford up there in the first, DJ Mitchell and John Garrett, and Derek Paulson in fourth, fifth, and sixth, respectively. And then you got Tyler Hilton now moving himself into seventh. So the fresh tires easily making their way to the front, but they need this thing to go nice and green for quite some time right now.
Yeah, it's the, I mean, this is the call, the obvious call. You know, let's take some new tires. Let's take the gamble, and hopefully my fellow league will not cause any cautions, and I can run away with this thing and stop under green and continue to run away with this thing. Or hopefully they got a big enough gap that they can't catch them when the remaining laps that are to come after that pit stop. But yeah, this is the gamble here for some of the drivers, and you know, we talk about obviously it's Vegas, and it's kind of like haha because it's gambling, and it's a place where a lot of people visit to go gamble. But you know, these drivers are trying to win here. They're trying to get the best finish possible every week, and you can't win if everybody does the same exact thing. So some drivers out there taking chances, and tonight this is the looks like Mefford, Mitchell, Garrett, Paulson, Hilton, all taking that gamble here early. Well, not quite early. They're about closing in on that halfway mark, so I guess early enough. But it could pan out to their favor, as we've seen VVR, the drivers here at VVR, go for pretty long green flag runs, and especially during the middle of the race.
Yeah, right now, all those drivers that took fresh tires are 1 through 5. You got Mefford, Mitchell, Garrett, Paulson, Hilton for your top 5, all on fresh tires. And now Mitchell to the front of the pack here is still trying to fix these cars out here. So we got some that are that's got some crazy colors on that at this point. But another one that took tires is starting to work his way through the field as well, and that is Len McNeese, kind of buried in the back of the pack here. But the 84 starting to work his way through this field as well. Now to the inside here of 00 Gordon Larson, and going to take another spot here, moving himself up into 8th place. So again, and actually another one, of course, the 77 going right through the middle there of Michael Pratt on some fresh tires right now. Jimmy's a little early. It's not even halfway yet, and we already see the 77 come up through there. So, well, I guess, yeah, it's still short of halfway. Never mind that. It's still a couple laps short. Right, so I don't know.
he just following footsteps. You know, you could tell who took tires. You know, obviously DJ Mitchell finally has put the number 4 out front here tonight, followed by John Garrett. Obviously, and that same strategy, along with a few others, looking to get by the 4 here, going down to the inside as they cross the stripe there, not quite making it there as DJ Mitchell holds them off one more time here, as they're battling up here up front for that first place. But Mefford is back there, and then number 83 sitting in 3rd place now. Derek Paulson finally getting that 5 up there in the P04. Tyler Hill only seen him involved in an incident early, but up 18 spots, setting in P number 5. So I'm sure he's liking his decision right now, as he doesn't have as much traffic around him as when he got wrapped up. Dalton Kilwell falling back just a little bit, but just on a different strategy, as Len McNeese, you talked about him early, the 84, the Western Auto Machine. You know, so I mean, there's just something about the Western Auto Machine. Every time I see it out there, you just straight up think of Darrell Waltrip. So you also want to say, you know, Darrell's in the car right now, making this thing up to the front here. But yeah, Michael Pratt up now 25 spots, sitting in P8. It's crazy.
What is the 4 still out front of DJ Mitchell, winner of the opening race here on the season at Daytona. and looking to maybe grab another one here early on in the season. Very fast out there, but again, it's worth mentioning the top 7 now are the ones with fresh tires and already starting to pull away from the rest of the field here. But the man in second is probably been one of the most consistent ones out here, but just hasn't really gotten the finishes, and that is looks like some of the cars are getting corrected here, but that is the 66 of John Garrett, who had a really good run at Daytona before, well, Daytona became Daytona, and unfortunately finished a bit further back in the pack. But then last week out, had a good run out there in Auto Club and finished up there in the top 5, and has kind of really helped his start to the season right there with that top 5. We see him up here again in second place. But, I mean, DJ Mitchell, I mean, we kind of joked around about him getting the win at Daytona, and, you know, looking good. It's you know, one of the first times that we got to talk to him in the podium, let alone on the top step of the podium. And he was kind of like a fish out of water a bit. You know, he didn't expect to be there, and he was happy to be there. But, you know, fool me once, shame on me, or fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. I don't know. I mean, he's looking pretty good here. I know it's fresh tires, but he wasn't exactly a slouch on speed before he got these new tires. So I think this Ford's got a little something to prove this season.
It could just be the Ford season. You know, it's one thing, obviously, you see it in actual NASCAR or, you know, somebody new. A lot of first-time winners at Daytona, you know, and a lot of times, and they'll usually go off to have a fairly decent season. You know, very rarely do they fall to the wayside, but you know, obviously a lot of real-life drivers, you know, want to win at Daytona, and they're in that environment, and they do have that opportunity to win. Being on iRacing, you do get the sense of how things are out there in the car, especially when you're in that in the driver's seat, in the wheel, on how everything looks. You know, you can't see much. You're trusting all your drivers around you. You're poking your nose out here and there. You're riding the line a little more comfortable than others to, you know, to get yourself around here, and then putting yourself in that opportunity to strike at the end, get that run, and, you know, stop momentum of a line to, you know, walk away a winner here. But a change in lead here over the 4, as we're talking about him just a little bit. So 66 of John Garrett will get his nose out front here for a little while. But yeah, it's good to see you know, DJ continue his run so far this season. And yeah, we're only in that third race, but to keep going here early and to see him up front battling for the win or podiums is always a good sight to see.
I want to thank everybody out there again for tuning in. I know we got the Daytona duels going on here tonight, but I think you chose the right spot here. Whether you got us on fully or whether you got a picture with VVR here and the Daytona duels going on, we want to thank you for tuning in here. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that Syrian has to offer. I want to thank these sponsors here in VVR once again: Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. But Jimmy, got a couple guys towards the middle of the pack coming in to the pits. One of them is Mike Hasty. The other one, Dennis Warrens, looks like another one came in there as well. Trying to check who that might have been, but yeah, Dalton Kilroy already in the pits a couple laps ago. Maxwell Caldwell. So it'll be time for some early green flag pit stops to get back on the correct tire schedule here, as I see these guys with these fresh tires just starting to check out.
Yeah, then maybe these drivers were kind of like, all right, I'll wait a little bit, and, you know, ended up now having to take a 4-tire stop under green, which is a big difference here. I think, they do go a lap down here, so as Hasty and Warrens are coming out now, so you do go a lap down, so this is a gamble here. So now, you know, Hemi Gardini being the last car, or he's the first car lap down, he's like, you know, he's the car that everybody's chasing in order to not be a lap down, or if something happens, to be the lucky dog to get back on the lead lap. Now the odds of all the drivers out here that's, you know, not coming in if a caution came out. It's slim no none, but that would mean everybody that came in here at lap 61 would find themselves, going around and getting their lap back. But they have to hold on here tightly, because if things go the wrong way, they can find themselves in a situation that would be unrecoverable for tonight, and find themselves finishing in the back half of the field here tonight.
Aaron, I thought that this whole time the song went hold on loosely, but I guess that's not the case here tonight. But it's been a pretty good run for these drivers since, again, the drop of the green. I say that lightly because the last time I said that, we had a caution. So hopefully this thing stretches out. But it's really interesting. I like when there's strategies like this, because clearly these 7 guys that stayed out there, took those tires, are certainly making their way up through the field. Brandon Meir actually is up there as well in the 33, so the top 8 have fresh tires on, and they've clearly got a pace advantage on everybody else in the field that don't have those, they didn't have those fresh tires. Some of them now do, as Ray Radford now trying to make his way up through there. He is another one that took tires, but kind of stuck back there in 15th. But the guys that came into the pits in the 60s laps, as Dalton Kilgore came in lap 61, Maxwell Caldwell and Ty Marasco all the same. They are now running, it's like about a full second and a little bit faster than a full second faster than our leaders right now. So their fresh tires are going to be kind of the undercut on these guys. So it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this race plays out, and we'll see who's got the right strategy here out in Vegas.
Strategies throughout the field as more drivers coming in down the pit lane. We have Mir, Pratt, and Merkel all coming down to get their pit stop here on lap 70. So 40 laps remain, or 41 laps remain here of this race here at Las Vegas. Right now your leader is Garrett, Mitchell, Mefford, Hilton, and Paulson just went to pits.
First one from the front of this pack coming in here, Derek Paulson coming in. Actually, Michael Pratt came in the lap before as well. But John Garrett still leads the way out there. The top 5 are the ones out there that took tires on that last pit stop. But you got to give it to Robert Kahn, last week's winner. He is out there in 6th place right now. He did not take tires just yet, so he's got all the tires he wants in the pits for the second half of this race that we're well and underway right now. But the question is, how far is he going to be behind? I mean, not just behind the guys that are out there that already have those fresh tires, but now these new guys that are starting to make their way through the field. They're going through Bill Rose, Maxwell Caldwell, Ty Marasco, Gordon Larson. They're starting to make their way through the field as well. Granted, they're still quite a ways back, but once this pit cycle goes through, they'll get their lap back. They'll get right back up there and could very well take over the top spots in this race. But Robert Kahn will then have come in and taken his tires, and he'll be the fastest one on the track. So about 16 different strategies out here. Maybe Kahn listening to me here. He's coming into the pits this time by.
Coming in. Williams, Taylor, Wiskowski, Giardini all come down pit lane. There's a few people leaving right now. Warnes and Wiskowski obviously on their way out right now. So yeah, these pits, it is definitely that time. Only a few drivers remain. Or no, wait, I think everybody finally came in. I think everybody has been in. Looks like Kilrow, and that was the last one, lap 61. So he's got a little more time.
Like there, Paulson coming in on lap number 70, but only taking fuel as these drivers that did take the tires before. And we don't have another set that they can just burn off right away. So Paulson and Garrett are going to be the top 2 right now that did not take tires this last time by. But Dalton Kilbrough, Maxwell Caldwell have moved themselves up into 3rd and 4th. And now they are starting to chase down those leaders that were walking away from them before. Now they're reeling them in. You see the 41 right there, right behind the 66 of Garrett, looking for 2nd place. And you see, easy as you like it, right underneath the 66. Right to 2nd place. So the 41 makes his way, moves up there. 94 is not too far behind, but we'll do the same thing.
Yeah, and obviously right now the ball's kind of in Paul's and Garrett's court. Same thing with Caldwell, Kilwell. Like, because if a caution were to come out right now, obviously there's 24 drivers on the lead map. They would all get on fresh tires, and so they're sitting in a real good spot. So what they're not going to want to see is when they have to pit any other drivers. Like, if the next round comes out, I think it's going to end up being a little bit different. Obviously, some drivers still having tires or whatnot. So these drivers, I think right now, are going to want a caution probably probably 15 laps or so. I think would be that. I think is right around that window, Carl. I think I'm getting like 30 some laps, I think, for a tank.
Well, you see two teammates here now in first and second. Paulson in the lead, Kilrow in second, but on different tire strategies right now. So the teams maybe not working together for this race, trying some different strategies to see which one works. But the 41 is currently the one that is working out there. He ends up going to the outside, takes the lead here on the 5 of Paulson. And you got a couple other cars trying to work their way through just to get their laps back. But third place right now, Maxwell Caldwell trying to work his way up through there. John Garrett, Brandon Medford for your top 5. Got Ty Marasco, DJ Mitzel, Tyler Hilton, Cody Griffin, and Brandon Meir for your top 10. But Jimmy, I think it's about time we get a nice little green flag run here to let these cars do the talking here for a little bit and crank it up for a little. Love to hear it.
Yeah, we'll love to hear it. My other question is, what happened with Tim? I know it's been a while, but what happened with Tim?
I did see him come into the pits earlier, and it looks like he might have just stepped out of this race. Maybe he's looking for the paints as well. But,
name sorry. Maybe he's going to ring trade next.
We'll go ahead and go ahead and crank it up here and give you a little sear in. I'd love to hear it. laps left in this race already, as now that we've been under green, it's been clicking away, and we've seen all different kinds of pit strategies in and out right now. Currently, DJ Mitzel is your leader. We got some more cars in the pits. Kilrow, Warnes, Bleshy in the pits. Maxwell Caldwell now heading into pit lane, making their final pit stops of the race. But your top 5 right now: Mitzel, Mefford, Griffin, Kahn, and Dalton. So your pole sitter Dalton back there in 5th place. You see the top 2 on your screen right now. That 4 of DJ Mitzel looking for his 2nd win on the season, looking to prove that Daytona was not a fluke. And I know that's it's sometimes tough for drivers to do, as Jimmy mentioned. You know, sometimes you can fluke your way into a win at a Daytona or a Talladega, but you know, to come out there and get another win on the season proves that, you know, you're one that needs to be discussed in the conversation. And currently DJ Mitzel leading a bunch of laps out here under the lights in Vegas, doing exactly that and trying to run these tires as long as they can before he comes in for this final pit stop. I don't believe they can make it as far as all the way to the end here. Mitzel pitting on lap number 72. Effort on lap number 70. I don't think 40 laps is in the cards for these drivers, as we got one in the wall there, just trying to stay out of it.
These drivers want the caution right now. The ones that are out here right now, you know, making their way, these are the drivers that are rolled the dice earlier than the others, and they want that caution to show up here now. With only 17 laps remaining, would be perfect for these drivers to come in. It would keep them on the lead lap. They'd be able to get fuel, and you know, they'd have fresher tires than a lot of the drivers that are out there. We only have 16 laps to go, and it does look like when this is all said and done, keep your eyes on, I believe, the Amir, Brandon Amir, and Time Rasco, that time from right there back from 11th and 12th.
Mir looks like only a 7-second pit stop, so no tires for Mir. Rasco, 10-second pit stop, possibly maybe right side tires on that one. But new leader out here, and maybe a little bit of a pit move there is Brandon Mefford, as he used the 47 there as a bit of a pick move there of Ray Radford. And I mean, you take a look at the timing and scoring tower, and yeah, you want to talk about a caution. 6 guys currently on the lead lap, and very soon to be only 5. You see the 98 right there of Mike Taylor trying to stay on that lead lap. He's got Mefford right behind him, so he would love to stay right there and just be on the lead lap, not have to worry about the lucky dog if a caution were to come out. But all these drivers right now up at the front, your top 8 right now, have to come into the pits. And how about the timing of that one? Caution flag is out. Looks like it might have involved Cody Griffin on this one. And talk about the timing that this top 8 absolutely wanted to see. Ooh, we've got a race on our hands now. Under 10 laps to go, the way it looks, when we're going to get this green flag back underway. What do you do? I mean, obviously the top 6 right now, if they got any kind of tires in the pits, they are loving life. They'll be able to get in there. Worst case scenario, they're coming out in 6th place. I mean, man, this thing got thrown on its head right now, but that's exactly what a timely caution can do.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these drivers, obviously, they're going to, you know, stay in front of them, but these drivers will come back out, you know, in that top 6. You'll get that lucky dog, unlucky dog. You'll get these drivers will get a chance to get fuel. They'll be right back out front. They'll have fresh tires, enough fuel, and you know, everybody behind them that gamble, the ones that maybe they don't have tires left, or they didn't take tires to make up fuel positions. You see the 33 obviously going to come in. There's like a lot of people that have got different strategies going on, and just you know, it sucks for some of them that had great gains, and they're, you know, obviously going to have losses. But yeah, these first 5 drivers, 6 drivers, in a wonderful spot here to you know, get back around and get back out front with fresh tires or fuel. Maybe some don't have tires, so if they don't have tires left and they're up front and everybody's on their back bumper, I don't think I've seen that 4 go back up.
Not at all. Yeah, the 4 Metzel is going to lead the way off of pit road. Mefford going to come out in second. So, yeah, that's the other part of it here. They're going to allow everybody that does have those fresh tires back on the lead lap. Now you're going to see a ton of drivers going to be taking that wave around. As take a look up here, and you see Dalton Kilroe leading the way, but you got to look way back here in the field. That is your leader right there. You see all of these cars in front of them are going to be getting back on the lead lap, or at least getting a lap back. You know, if they're 2 laps down, they'll be back to 1 lap down, obviously. But a lot of drivers taking a wave around. But who of these drivers has fresh tires? Looks like the 41 right now could possibly be the one that to beat here. It looks like he's got fresh tires from lap number 90. Caution came out that may have actually helped him just as much as these other top 6. He's only going to have to pass 6 cars with those fresh tires. As soon as the pace car allows him to go by, it looks like probably this time by we'll get the 1 to go. Keep an eye on the pace car, and yes, indeed, going to be 1 to go. So we're going to get the green flag, Jimmy, with 11 laps left in this race, and possibly for the first time this year, maybe talking about last year's champion Dalton Kilroe, maybe finally getting that top step of the podium, let alone in his first podium of the year.
A good possibility, obviously, and you know, a lot of the drivers going to go. It looks like they're racing at the moment as they're lying back up 2 by 2. So many drivers having to catch back up. But it looks like DJ Mitchell is going to take the inside, Brandon Mefford on the outside. The thing that these drivers need to realize, or I should say remember, is that they are a mixed field of tires now. So to kind of be a little bit patient, at least on the start, until you find that opportunity to make your move to make the pass. Because if you have newer tires, more than likely you're going to get around whoever's in front of you pretty easily. But as it stands right now, it's DJ Mitchell, Brandon Mefford, Todd Merkel, and Robert Warnes, Michael Taylor, Ray Radford, Dalton Kilroe, Ty Marasco, Derek Paulson, John Garrett for your top 10. So,
I mean, it's worth noting too. I mean, you know, these drivers that got the wave around, they're not exactly starting in 7th position overall. They've still got a lot of lap cars that they need to get around before they get to this top 6. So, I mean, they do have to use those tires up here a little bit as a good start here from DJ Mitchell at the front, gets him back out to the lead. But you got to watch out for Robert Warnes. He did have a set of tires. Todd Merkel, he did have a set of tires, so it's not just going to be a cakewalk. We do have a few cars that have got tires and already going to work. Robert Warnes back and forth using up both mirrors, hypothetically here, on the 4. And he's going to go to the outside as he's bobbing and weaving. 10 laps to go here. Now here at the line, it is going to be 9 laps to go at Vegas. It is Robert Warnes out to the lead. Todd Merkel now jumping into second place, going around DJ Mitchell. So Mitchell's chance at getting 2 wins here early in the season, maybe going by the wayside, still looking like a good finish for him. You take a look back, and you see the melee. It is rush hour out here in Vegas. Cars all over the place, dancing around, looking for the way through. Ty Marasco out of a cannon. He's going to get through. Looks like 4 wide behind him. Can't fit that many cars out here in Vegas. They're trying, though. They're looking for a way. And look at the hard stretch here. 3 wide, almost 4 wide. How we don't have a caution yet, I have no idea. But Robert Warnes, Todd Merkel are looking to check out here, run away on this thing. And we've got a big wreck in the back. Trying to get back there. Looks like Brandon Muir involved in this one. As this one is really going to put things on its head once again. Not going to be, I don't think, green-white checker territory yet, but it can be very close. We'll take a look at the replay of this thing. I mean, it was bound to happen with just so much going on here. And you see the 33 just horrible net code there with the 81 Andrew Paleshi. Not sure that was. Looks like was it the 98 or the 08?
Robert Smith.
Yeah, it wasn't Robert Smith because, yeah, there was a 38 there of Tyler Hilton. Was the other one that got involved. We'll take a look at how he got sent down to the inside here because he was on the outside and then everything happened in front of him. but really nowhere to go as a 33 sideways in front and ends up tagging him going down to the inside wall. Gonna bring us under another caution.
Yeah, another caution here late in the race. 6 laps still remaining here as they all start lining back up. But you know, I think these drivers always they've been having great races. And they talk about a little bit of like having to clean up just a little bit stuff. And the cleanup is coming down to the end of the races. So I think they got pretty much all the races pretty much down to the line, but a little just people being trying to grab every inch of track and pushing their cars to the limit. And obviously when a caution comes out, it groups everybody up, so that inherent like, this is my opportunity to make as many spots up as possible. Who's on fresher tires, it does work itself out, and I'm not saying not be aggressive, but that's where you really got to be careful here is the accident's going to happen. So another one happens here with only a few laps remaining. But Robert Warrens and Todd Merkel had fresher tires that I was unaware of there, Carl. So there's actually sitting in a pretty good spot here, even though some of the other cars that maybe had tires behind them had tires as well. So they just got that good spot here for a late start. DJ Mitzel almost a sitting duck to some of these drivers with some of the newer tires, so hopefully he can hold on for a top 3, or at least to get keep himself in that top 5 here. But a lot of hungry drivers back there, a lot of fast drivers back there, looking to take these podium positions away from your top 3: Robert Warrens, Tom Merkel, and DJ Mitchell.
One, it's kind of what you said. You kind of have to get it real quick with these yellow flags coming out here. You got guys on different tire strategies. Some old tires, obviously. Todd Merkel up here with Robert Warrens, both on the fresh tires out here, but DJ Mitzel and Brandon Mefford are both on some used tires, so they're just trying to hold on for dear life. But now they don't have those lap car buffers that they had on that last restart, where they had maybe 6 to 8 lap cars in between them and all those guys that got that wave around. They're going to be lined up right behind him now. Ty Marasco was launched out of a cannon on that last one. We'll see what that one can do. And oh, by the way, you want to talk about cleanup? It maybe took us about 80 laps. We got these damn paint schemes up and running. We got it looking right. Ty Marasco's finally in the Dairy Queen machine, as well as everybody else in the correct cars.
He didn't want to be up front until you got your paints fixed.
We're about to find out what's going to finish out here for tonight. It's actually not the Dairy Queen machine. It's actually the disqualified machine, if you're looking at it correctly there. So that's what the DQ apparently stands for. But Robert Warrens is going to be at the front of this field. He's got
green flag.
Pedal to the metal for what should be, hopefully, the last restart. But you never know. We could go down to green, white checker before this thing is over. He's on the loud pedal either way, heading down into turn number 1. We'll keep an eye back a little bit further in the pack. We'll see what the fresh tires from Michael Taylor. And look, double check. Yeah, Michael Taylor does have the fresh tires as well. Ty Marasco back here, Dalton Kilroe, Derek Paulson, all looking to try and get up there as quick as possible. DJ Mitzel so far hanging on right now to 4th place, but coming back to the stripe here. You see already these tires are starting to go to work as we have got 3 laps to go here in Vegas.
The longest of 3 laps of DJ Mitzel's race here tonight, and to watch spots just kind of click away and just like, come on, baby, just hold on for a few more. And he's pushing, I'm sure, that 4 to the limits here to get whatever he can will finish here tonight. Obviously, what's the start of a great season here so far, kind of going by the wayside. And obviously, they took the gamble. We're in position for a really good finish, but then that caution came out. Looks like they're looking 3 wide there with the Interpoleschi, the 50 of Ross Dalton, and then we want to go with the 98 of Michael Taylor. So definitely busy here, front middle pack.
Yeah, absolutely. Poleschi trying to go through the middle back there and get squeezed out of it, but we're coming to the white flag. It is in the air. 1 more lap to go here. Robert Warrens looking for the win here. And looking to be the not just the winner here, but the top Canadian here too, as we've got 4 Canadians here in the field, and he's the top dog right now. trying to run away with this thing. Todd Merkel, a good run for the 2 as well in second place. Ty Marasco doing everything he can. He is going to get up there in a third place. The time being side by side. The 3 gets involved. Seems like the 3 has been involved in quite a bit here tonight. Not necessarily of his doing. He's going to shuffle back, but your winner here tonight is going to be Robert Warnes. Todd Merkel going to come home in second. Ty Marasco going to bring it home in third. Ross Dalton, your pulse here, comes all the way back. A good run late here for the 50. Gets him all the way up into fourth. Dalton Kilroe gets his best finish of the season. He finally cracks the top 5. Not going to be a win here for the 41, but it's got to feel good to at least be going in the right direction. But man, it got racy late here in Vegas, and whether it was new tires, whether it was old tires, whether it was some heatedness where you see it still looks like it maybe a little bit heated there still with the 3 and a few other cars out there. But Robert Warnes is your winner out here in Las Vegas, and it's time for him to burn it down. And it's funny, I always look at these ARCA cars going down the straightaway and it looks like they're beat up, they're sideways, there's something wrong with them, but no, it's how they are. It's just funky looking. But the 95
like watching dirt cars go around the track.
95 gets to burn it down here on the front stretch. What a finish. And yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, just like Robert Warnes, we finished about as well as he did. You know, we finally got the paint schemes figured out. Jimmy's got his computer figured out. So it'll be back to the typical broadcast next week, hopefully, unless something else happens. But we will
updates.
We'll bring it to you either way.
Little updates. I mean, I found it. It was actually, I mean, just for other people out there that maybe run iRacing, NVIDIA has an app. It's in beta testing right now, but they updated it to a version 2.0. It's called NVIDIA Broadcast, and basically what it does is it gives you kind of like filters for your microphone and some like filters for your camera if you were to use one. For some reason, it was attacking my graphics, and like right now, I'm sitting at close to 160 frames a second, watching Robert Warnes burn down here and celebrating. I was down to 30, so it was huge. I mean, I know there's only one car on the track, but it's usually not that big of a difference. And it was almost to the point I was stuttering, and it would have been really bad. But obviously, Carl, being the champ that he is, you know, upgrading his computer just last week, and he might have had an issue with trading paint, but you guys definitely got the better show watching it come from him tonight. So, but congratulations to all the drivers for participating tonight. Again, it's so nice to, you know, come out here, see 35 drivers keep coming out each and every week, and just doing their best and running some of these, you know, great tracks. And, you know, hats off to Tim for putting a successful league together. And if you're interested in ARCA racing here with Virtual Velocity Racing, obviously look up Tim Lee. And last I heard, they weren't turning many people around, if any at all. So don't be afraid to ask to see if there's an opening, and if you want to get on this wait list and get yourself out there and get some great racing in with the Virtual Velocity Racing series.
Well, we are complete here with Vegas, and the results are in for tonight's race. And man, a chance to let these top 3 breathe here a little bit and get their way into the waiting room. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of our full results here for tonight's race?
A rundown of tonight's race results will be your winner here will be Robert Warnes, followed by Todd Merkel and Ty Marasco. Those are your podium winners. And it's going to be Ross Dalton, Dalton Kilroe, Derek Paulson, Maxwell Caldwell, Brandon Mefford, Cody Griffin, John Garrett for your top 10. Michael Taylor, Gordon Larson, Andrew Pileshi, DJ Mitchell falls all the way back to 14. And it's I know that was probably a hard one for him to swallow. Mike Hasey rebounds there to 15th. Mike Rideout in 16th. Robert Kahn 17th. Tyler Hilton's in 18th. And then the rest of your field is 19th will be Dennis Warnes, Len McNeese, Ray Radford, Chris Schuessler back there in 22nd, Doug Waskowski back there in 23rd, Brian Rainville in 24th, Michael Pratt in 25th, Brandon Muir in 26th, Hemi Giardini in 27th, Hilton Youngs in 28th, 29th, Cade Green, Rick Thompson in 30th, Tim Lee finishes in 31st, after having seen him up there earlier. Just not quite sure why he fell back so far. Eric Blount's in 32nd, Robert Smith in 33rd, Corey Coe in 34th, and I'll give Graham Connolly a shout out for it, at least maybe practicing, maybe not ready to run around here with the drivers tonight, or maybe something came up, but just still want to give him a shout out for showing up and being part of VVR.
Well, we got our top 3 here in the waiting room, so let's not wait any longer, and we'll go ahead and start with our top 3 here tonight. And we'll start with, if this wants to keep switching on me here, there we go. We'll start with our 3rd place finisher tonight, and it's going to be the one of Ty Marasco. And Ty, it took some time for us to get the correct paint scheme on the car. Your Trading Paints was not being kind to us, but at least the DQ disqualified machine didn't have to get disqualified here tonight. Heck of a run up through the field. Man, it seemed like once you guys got that wave around, kind of a bit of a timely caution to maybe get you up there. It might have been kind of bad and good with the way the caution fell, but you get yourself back up there, and you had some lap cars to deal with to get you up there on that second last restart, and you were shot out of a cannon to get through them.
Yeah, definitely wanted to get through them as quick as possible. Again, we had a fast DQ disqualified Dodge Charger, number 1 Dodge Charger tonight. It was pretty fast, and the caution before that led to all the other cautions was probably the caution we didn't need. Probably would have finished probably similar to where we did finish tonight, but it would have been more of a gap and less hard driving and try to drive through them all, but we'll take it. And then another one fell, and then it allowed us to catch up. And yeah, definitely when that other one fell, I knew we had a shot. And I was on 2 tires right there. I took a 2-tire stop under green and tried to jump a couple guys, which ended up happening, and it was able to hold on and for those last couple 3-4 laps to get us into 3rd. But yeah, we definitely needed it. We've had 2 bad races to start the season, so it was nice to get back up into 3rd and good point stay and keep moving.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a little crazy, a little hectic out there on those last couple of restarts. Obviously, a lot of drivers in between that were lap cars, a lot of drivers that were out there on some old tires, and then you guys with the fresh tires trying to make your way up there as quick as possible. I mean, you've seen multiple times a 3 wide, let alone a couple times a 4 wide coming up through there. So, I mean, how crazy is it? How much are you looking for every single little gap to try and get through there as quick as possible? I mean, just explain what it is when it's coming down to the end of the race like that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, it's, especially with all the lap cars in different tire situations is the issue. A lot of guys didn't have tires, so they're a lot slower, but they get, they're battling too, and they have a right to battle, but you just try to find the gaps, and you try to read, you just try to look a corner ahead before you even get there. So, like, coming out of the corner, I'm already knowing, like, all right, I'm going to try to do this, but if he does this, then I'm going to try to do that. So, the gaps kind of opened up for us too. We only really had to force it a couple times, but we were able to come out of it clean. And yeah, a lot of hard racing tonight, a lot of beating and banging. I was involved in some of that, and definitely, it's good racing, but I'd like to see a few guys, maybe tame down a little bit sometimes. But hey, it's racing. Everybody's a little different, so you just got to deal with it.
Yeah, it was just a 180-mile-an-hour chess match is all it was out there. So
yeah, that's all it was. But hey, we came out 3rd. I know I wasn't going to catch the 2 guys in front. They had the freshest of the fresh. So we were definitely the leader of the rest. So yeah, I'll take that.
Which is not a bad thing to be. Well, you get yourself a podium here tonight, and maybe hopefully the luck turns around here a little bit after Vegas, and you string some good finishes together. But either way, you got a podium here tonight, so congrats on that. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I guess, my team and the MFRD team, we do a good job, and I think we finished pretty well tonight. But also you guys I love going back and listening to the broadcast. Probably will do that tomorrow. And then obviously, Tim, thank you for everything you do for this league, and hope to keep it rolling in the next week. I don't know where we're at, but I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Taking a look here. I believe you guys are off next week, if I'm not mistaken. Where are we at here? The 13th. Yeah, so you're off next week, and then Atlanta for the one after that. So another one where you're kind of flat-footed for probably most of the time.
Yeah, if it's the old Atlanta, I don't. I don't know if it's new or old.
I believe it's new, but yeah, I could be
Okay, if it's
mistaken.
new, we're flat-footed. If
Yep.
it's old, we're not. So,
There you go.
yeah,
You
yeah. So
practice for
we'll
both,
see.
and you'll
We'll
be
see.
good to go.
We'll see when I show up in 2 weeks what track I'm at.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the podium here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, thank you guys.
Third place finisher here tonight, the one of Ty Marasco. Second place tonight, and a really good finish. I feel like we don't talk to him, that often as much as we should. But the second place finisher here tonight is going to be the two of Todd Merkel.
Hey, Todd, Jimmy, and Carl in the booth. You copy?
Hello, Jimmy. Hello, Carl. Good to talk to you.
It's definitely great to talk to you. It's been a while. We've been watching that too go back and forth, and you were in that position here tonight, and I didn't realize you had some little bit fresher tires there at the end, so putting you in a great spot for a possible win, but not quite able to edge out the car in front of you. But either way, you walk away with a second place finish. So give us a little rundown on how everything was out there for you here tonight.
Well, first off, congratulations to Robert. He was quite fast there, and, he's no newbie at this, so big respect to him, and he deserved the win. He was better than me, even though we were both on equal tires at the end there. But what can I say? I got lucky every once in a while. What do they say? A broken clock is right twice a day, and I hit it right on the pit strategy tonight.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've heard that one, but yeah, I've heard that. They're damn broken clocks. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be a broken clock, you definitely hit the time at the right mark, and it's good to see you out there. We see that you support a lot of things out there. Your teammates running up there as well with your name on the car. So it's just it's good to finally see the two up here on the podium, and I get a chance to talk to you and make sure you had a good race. But, we want to say congratulations, of course, but we definitely want to give you some time for any shout outs you may have on that number two.
Well, I want to shout out to Andrew Palesci and Maxwell Caldwell, my teammates. They run my decal on the car. I mean, they're really the class of our team. And it's just a little bit of an extra treat when I get to visit with you guys.
I mean, it's any kind of treat. I mean, your name's out there, whether they're up here and now you're up here, and they weren't anywhere close to you, too close to you tonight. So, I mean, you're the class act tonight. So again, congratulations. And definitely want to say, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, I appreciate that. A shout out to Ross Pistons, Driven Oil, and Liberty's Gears for, I run all my real race car, and I run their decals on this too, just for fun. But I appreciate their help.
Yeah, anytime anybody can help out, it's definitely a plus, and it's good to see that people that do this in the real world or even out here. Young bucks or lobies, or I don't know what you call us, but simmers. I don't know what you guys call us, but definitely like throwing the wheels around when we can.
It's a good time.
All right, Todd. Well, again, congratulations. And Carl, you got anything else for him?
No, that's.
I would just also like to thank the guys who run this organization. It's been a great time. I really enjoy running this VVR crew, and you guys are doing a great job up in the booth too.
We appreciate that, buddy.
We appreciate that. We'll let you go, Todd, and we'll let you go celebrate. Unless you got anybody else you'd like to give any shout-outs to.
That'll do it. I just appreciate being here.
And we appreciate you showing up, because without you guys on the track, there would be no CRN. So again, congratulations, and we'll talk to you next week.
Take it easy.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, and top American. We'll give him that title as well here, as he does have the American flag on the side there. So yeah,
not first, you're last, Carl.
Exactly, but he's first in the Americans, but top of the boards here tonight, and top in North America as well, for that matter. The 95 of Robert Barnes. Robert, you had the tires when you needed them, and I know a lot of drivers out here. You only got so many sets of tires, and everybody's, I paid for them, I'm going to use them. You and Todd Merkel saved them until the last absolute minute. Boy, it paid off.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't deserve to be up where I was tonight, because I was on the wrong side of the strategy. I'm still trying to figure out how everyone runs and when they're taking tires, because it is a tire game. So I was about to come in the lap after that caution came out, and I was like, I guess I don't have to. And I was up sitting in third on that last second last restart, and unfortunately DJ didn't have any tires, and that was just a nice little easy pass on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, when you came to that second last restart, which was kind of the restart that really meant everything for you in this race, did you know that Todd Merkel was really the only other one that you kind of had to worry about on that restart, given that he had the fresh tires there as well?
Yeah, the crew chief rang in, and we pitted at the same time, and I could see that his pit stop time was similar to mine. So that meant to me he stacked on tires, and he's been a good, clean racer. I raced him the last race. We passed each other a couple times, and I didn't know what he'd have in the pocket. I didn't know if he was laying back, but I just hit the loud pedal, and I just shipped it. So I actually turned my fastest laps at the end of the race.
Well, it's no better time to do it for sure. But I mean, it was certainly a little hectic. Were you able to even look in your mirrors at all once the restart happened there, or the second last restart at least, where you had probably a good 6-8 lap cars in between you guys and all the ones that took that wave around that also had some fresh tires? Were you able to see all the chaos going on behind you, or were you just dead set on straight ahead?
I'm more of the premise to just look forward and go. So I didn't really look too much behind. After I got that good start, I felt DJ just tap my bumper a bit in the Geico zone, and then I just sent it. I was able to get around Todd before entering one, so I just kind of locked in and ran my line, and just let it happen after that.
Oh, it's probably the best thing to do, because there was just a little bit going on behind you for sure. But you get it on the top step here tonight, and whether it was on speed or not, I mean, you qualified up here on the front row, so it's not like you were necessarily off pace at all here tonight. You just happened to have the speed and the right strategy at the right time. So congrats on the win out here tonight in Vegas. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, no, just shout out to my brother racing with me, and Chris Schuessler. He's a buddy too that I run with, so it's just nice to hang out with those guys. And I'm gonna tune into this Core Racing Network broadcast and see what you guys have to say about me falling back in the middle of the race when I hit the pine cone and got myself a black flag.
We didn't see that, but that we'll have to look back and see that happen also. But
yeah, yeah. No, I was just coming in to get fuel, and I forget who was in front of me, but I just I'm just gonna hit this thing, and it gave me an EOL, but whatever.
You need to give yourself a little bit of something to drive through. It was too easy for you at that time. We get it.
It didn't work though. I couldn't get back up front. But no, shout out to Tim and the league, because this is actually a great league and a great group of guys. So just thankful to be here and have good racing.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the win here tonight. 2 weeks from now, you guys have a week off, and then you have Atlanta coming up. What are your thoughts on Atlanta? Maybe a little bit similar here. If you guys are running the new Atlanta, I'm not sure if it's the new or the old, but if it's a new one, it's pretty much similar here to Vegas. Pretty flat foot, and just kind of need to be at the right spot at the right time with those tires.
Yeah, Atlanta's kind of like a super speedway. You're going to have to burp the throttle a little bit and save a little bit on entry to be a bit faster on long run. But these aren't really my type of tracks. I prefer short tracks, right? Like if we were to run like Martinsville or Nashville Super Speedway, somewhere where the tire degradation means a lot more, I much more enjoy those. But we'll try to put our best foot forward for Atlanta, but I ain't no good at any type of super speedway racing, to be honest.
Well, Jimmy, you heard it here. If we ever need a sub driver for those tracks that we absolutely hate, we got Robert Warrens that'll more than happy to step in the car for us. Well, congrats again on the win here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate, and maybe we'll talk to you in a couple weeks at Atlanta.
Awesome. Enjoy your week, boys.
You too, buddy. That's your winner here tonight, the 95 of Robert Warrens, getting it done here under the lights at Vegas. And man, just a beautiful facility out here in the desert, and it was a pleasure to be a part of. Thanks again to the sponsors here in the series: Gordline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs. And once again, thank you to all the fans out here tuning in to us instead of that other that other, league, NASCAR, it's just a duels. You're better off right here watching these boys here at VVR, the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA series here under the lights at Vegas. So thank you for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe to get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. But for myself and Jimmy out here in Vegas, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.